afternoon and welcome to Fast Horses Today for Saturday. Today is June 15th. It's the second to last day of the long Santa Anita winter spring meeting. And I've got some horses that I like here and also a late pick 5. So let's get started today at Santa Anita. I'm going to get started here in the 6th race with a win bet. This is a 5 furlong sprint for 2-year-old fillies. I'm going to make a little win bet on the 5 horse, who is Coral Gables Kaylin. Here's why I like this horse. This horse's older sister was Old Mandy, which I had given out as a winner on Thursday. Paid a nice price, paid I think nine and change. This is her little sister, Coral Gables Kaylin. Coral Gables Kaylin comes out of the, bred by Redham Racing, which the older sister was owned by Redham's, bred by Redham, owned by Redham. This is out of the Doug O'Neill barn, and they must have sold this horse off to, one of their associates. But anyway, I'm going to make a little win bet on this horse. I don't know how talented this field is, but, horse has some decent works, puts Maldonado on the horse, so, I'm thinking speed there. Her sister definitely showed a lot of high speed, so 6-1, taking a little shot with Coral Gables Kaylin. And then now let's move over to the pick 5. Pick 5 starts in the 7th race. So in the 7th race, which is the start of the late pick 5, we've got a California maiden special weight race. This is a mile on the grass, so 2 turns. I've got 3 horses here I want to get the pick 5 started with. So first is the 6 horses, Tiny Prancer. Tiny Prancer comes off of 1 start back in April for the Dan Blacker barn. His assistant was listed as the trainer there. I think Blacker was under suspension or something. So anyway, Blacker's back to being the listed trainer. This horse ran with Moment's Pleasure, who Moment's Pleasure ended up winning that race. And Stop Digging came second. Stop Digging came back to win. But Moment's Pleasure was a nice horse who ran second in a California stake race a few weeks back and ended up running a nice race yesterday, finishing second. So it makes me think this was a pretty live race. Tiny Prancer here ended up running 4th that day. And, it was a first start. Horse ran a nice race. So we're going to give the horse a chance in the second start with Rispoli at 4-1. Looks like, could be a good start there. Then I'm going to go with the 8 horse, who is Ms. Club Cali. Ms. Club Cali comes out of Antonio Garcia barn, and Garcia has been doing some good work lately. This horse has run a few times in the Santa Anita grass. They're taking blinkers off, and they're putting Hector Barrios on the horse. A jock switch from Herrera to Hector Barrios. Now, that could be a good switch there. This horse has run a couple nice races. She ran a nice race back in early May at a sprint distance. Ended up coming second that day to Stop Digging, who I had mentioned previously. Got disqualified there. I didn't understand the DQ, but, horse ends up getting DQ'd there. Then she went to a mile race. Ran a pretty even race and ended up getting beat a few lengths there. So I'm going to give this horse a chance here at 5-1. Again, as I mentioned, blinkers off, so they must have noticed something there. And they're putting Barrios on, so Barrios certainly wins races on the turf there. That's the 8 horse. That's Ms. Club Cali. And then I'm going to put the favorite, who is Run a Mile in My Shoes, out of the Jeff Mullins barn. This horse is 9-5 out of the 12 hole. This horse has some of the signs of being a career maiden, but, she runs there, gets second, has been burning some money. I don't want to throw this horse out in the first leg and get knocked out, so I'm going to just put her in. Maybe today would be graduation day for her. Hernandez, keeps on the horse, so maybe he's just found a softer group and could win here. So we've got the 6, the 8, and the 12 to try to start out this pick 5. All right, now let's move over to the next race. Next race is the 8th race. This is a straight maiden race here for 3 and up. They're running at 1 mile and a 16th, and it's drawn a nice field of horses as far as purchase prices. So there's some pretty hefty purchases in this race here, going 1 mile and a 16th. And I'm going to put a few of these horses in. I got 4 horses here that I'm going to put in to try to move this pick 5 along. I've got the 1 horse was Pony Express, John Sadler barn, 12-1. Rispoli takes the call. This horse was a $500,000 purchase, so probably big expectations here. He's run twice, hasn't hit the board yet, but I don't know. The horse showed some speed in his last couple. He's got the 1 hole. Maybe this horse works out a nice trip, getting on the lead and relaxing. So I'm going to put this horse in. I think this horse, has some ability and could possibly upset here. I'm also going to put another long shot in the 2 horse, was Wise Counsel. Wise Counsel, another big purchase, $400,000 purchase from Mike McCarthy. This is Rapoli and St. Elias stables. We've seen them, send some over to California with McCarthy. They won a race, I don't remember if it was yesterday or the day before, with a big dropper in the maiden rank. So this horse had run one time in a mile race, so it has a 2-turn experience, and ran with some of these horses, in the last race. So I like the way this horse ran. Got some experience there. Ended up running on for third. It was pretty far back. The pace was a little bit hot, but this horse showed some run. So it makes me think that this horse probably has some ability. And as we've seen, Rapoli and St. Elias, they're players in this game. So they get some good horses. This might be one of them. It's a long shot, 12-1, Wise Counsel. Now let's move over to the 5 horse, who is Indispensable. Another big purchase price. This horse cost $825,000 for out of the John Sadler barn. This is the West Point Thoroughbreds and Tala Racing. These guys partner up with Sadler quite a bit. This horse has run several times. They're trying to, I think, look like they're trying to figure out where this horse is best. They've tried the dirt. They've tried the turf. Back to the dirt here at 1 1/16. Freysu takes the call. I think this horse could be live here. He's run with some nice 3-year-olds. Ended up running with Muth. Ran with Coach Prime last year. Ran with Imagination, who we've seen Imagination run in the Santa Anita Derby and also in the some of the Triple Crown races. So maybe this horse finds a little softer spot here. 4-1 with Freysu. Certainly worth a shot here. Then I'm going to go with I'm going against the 7 horse, was Feel the Magic. Feel the Magic's the program favorite at 2-1. Mike McCarthy. Big stable. It comes out of a big stable, big connections. I'm going to really just focus in on this horse's last race that I don't know what this horse was doing. Ran in a much softer level of race and ended up coming second to De Medici. De Medici came back to lose in a starter allowance race. And this horse ended up coming second in that race. It just nosed out Vegas Burner, who Vegas Burner shows to be a pretty lightly talented horse. So I don't know what's the thought here with making this horse 2-1, but I'm going to throw this horse out. Don't think that he's good enough to beat some of these horses, and going to throw this horse out. But I am going to put in the 8 horse, who is Winterfell, out of the Bob Baffert barn. This horse is 5-2 in the program. This horse has run a few times, has run some races, even races, has hit the board. Last time lost to McVeigh. McVeigh was a big winner in his maiden race. Came back to lose in a stake race the next time out, but Winterfell here came second to him, and that was his first time running 2 turns. So I like that. The horse has experience, has shown some good works. Bob Baffert, has been just firing bullets lately at the end of the Santa Anita meet. This horse is 5-2. So I'm going to put this horse in. So I've got the 1, the 2, the 5, and the 8. All right, now let's move over to the next race, which is the 9th race. This race is 1.25 miles on the grass for first-level allowance horses. Nice field of horses. I've got 3 horses here to get this pick 5 moved along. I'm going to put the program favorite as 9-5. Devin Propos out of the Phil D'Amato barn. We see Phil D'Amato brings horses from Europe and ends up doing well with them. This horse, has been just training, hasn't run since they acquired this horse back in September of last year, coming out of France and some of their smaller tracks. But this horse looks like could be good enough to win this race. Looks to be training nicely here. Ran some good works over at La Salle, and then also a big time work at Santa Anita last out. So certainly horse worth putting here. Then I'm going to put the 3 horse, who is One of These Days, also for Phil D'Amato. Now this horse has been running in these long 1.25 mile turf races and has been showing up pretty well here. Comes off a couple third place finishes. Ran with Maltese Falcon and with Calm Sea in his last 2 starts. And, Maltese Falcon is a stakes winner, has run well in these level races, and Calm Sea has also run well. Calm Sea beat One of These Days last time, and Calm Sea came back to win again, so Calm Sea is pretty sharp. So One of These Days, he's 5-2, so no secret here. Going to put this horse in to try to move the pick 5 along, and then I'm going to take a shot with the 7 horse, who is also out of the Phil D'Amato barn. D'Amato's got 3 out of the 7 horses here in this barn, so going to go just put them all 3 in here. This horse is Spagliato. Mike Smith takes the call. This horse was back in the Jonathan Thomas barn at one time, and comes to the D'Amato barn here because he's staying in California. Thomas has moved on back east, so Smith takes the call, and we've seen Smith do pretty well with some of these turf horses towards the end of this meet. He certainly found his well, Smith could ride anywhere and win anywhere, but certainly seems to be doing a lot of good work on the Santa Anita turf course. And it seems like longer the race, the better. Smith's able to use his ability, use his know-how, and finish up strong. So I like Spagliato. That's the 7 horse. That's 1, 3, and 7 in that race. All right, now moving to the 10th race. 10th race, I've got a single here. This is a nice maiden special weight 6 furlong race. We've got a big field here, some nice horses, some nice purchase prices. I've singled this race here. I've got the 11 horse, who is Hope Road. Now, Hope Road, last time we saw Hope Road, she was running back in Del Mar last year as a 2-year-old. She was she's with Bob Baffert now, but she was back when she was running. She was with the John Sadler barn, and they made a trainer switch. So to me, it looks like what's John Sadler's loss is Bob Baffert's gain here. So this horse started her career back in Del Mar by running up against a Baffert horse. She came second to a horse named Dua, who was out of the Baffert barn. Then she followed it up with another second place finish, running up against Tamra. And I thought she ran a great race with Tamra. She ran into Tamra again in the Del Mar debutante. So Tamra was really, really tough last summer back at Del Mar. It was pretty much unbeatable, Tamra. So this horse ran up against Tamra twice, showed a good account in the maiden race, and ended up taking on winners in the Grade 1 Del Mar debutante, which the waters were just too deep for her there. So apparently something happened. She went on the shelf, but she's shown a long work tab. And as we've been seeing these Baffert horses over the last few weeks, just putting together just big time workouts. I don't know, this guy's just sending out the cavalry in the mornings over at Santa Anita. Back on May 24th, this horse shows a 46 flat work from the gate, so she's kicking down the barn doors here. And back at June 8th, just a week or so ago, she shows another kicking down the barn doors, 58 handily from the gate, 58 and 1. So makes me think this horse is ready to go. When we've seen Baffert make these moves over the last couple weeks, these horses have been just coming out and winning. So anyway, I've got here Hope Road, 5-2 in the program, J.J. Hernandez, horse out of Quality Road. And the mom was Marley's Freedom, who Baffert is very familiar with Marley's Freedom. Marley's Freedom was a multiple stakes winner out of the Baffert barn some years ago. So, he has some know-how with this family. So I like Hope Road. She's a single for me. All right, now let's move over to the 11th race. They got a marathon 11 race program. So 11th race, hoping to get this pick 5 live here. And I've got several horses I'm going to put here to try to pay off. This is a maiden 50,000 claimer, 6 furlongs on the grass. I'm putting in 6 horses here. I want to try and hit this pick 5. So I've got the 2 horse, who is Quality Wins, Mark Glatbarn, Kyle Frey. We've seen Kyle Frey do some great work at Santa Anita, winning everywhere. Grass, dirt, long, short. Frey seems, he's really become a top rider on all the surfaces now. He's improved his game big time. So I've got the 2 Quality Wins. I've got the 4 horse, who is leading out of Mike McCarthy barn. Now, this also out of the Rapoli stable, so they've tried this horse a few times at Santa Anita. Hasn't shown much. They're dropping this horse into 50. We'll see. Maybe Rapoli's just trying to win some races at the end of the Santa Anita meet, or also maybe trying to, loosen up the stable there and willing to lose a few horses running them and claiming. So we're going to put the 4 leading, who's 12-1. Going to put the 5, who is Storm Off. Storm Off, Peter Miller barn. First starter for Gary Barber. How many races have we seen this pair win? Gary Barber pairing up with Peter Miller. This horse shows some nice works over at San Luis Rey. That's where Miller trains. Juan Hernandez takes the call, 8-1, first starter. Let's try it. If we can get this live, it would be nice to have a horse like that win the last race. It would make for a nice payoff. I'm going to also put the 7-horse Legitify. Legitify was a big purchase out of the Mandela barn. Mandela put this horse in for a claim last time after a couple maiden special weight races. Horse ran an even race, but ended up getting claimed by Steve Knapp. Now we've seen Knapp win with this kind of move where he claims a horse and ends up winning off the claim. So this horse is Tiago Pereira. Tiago Pereira has ridden this horse before, puts the blinkers on, and this horse is 8-1. So this horse might be worth a play in a race like this. They're going to also put the 9 horse, who is Bartholdi. I've played this horse a couple times now. This Simon Callahan, with the horses he gets in these big purchase prices, should win more. This was a $300,000 purchase. Horses run some decent races in the maiden special ranks. Maybe they're just getting realistic, putting this horse in for 50. It may be go time here. 4-1, Freysu. The drop in class should make this horse faster, and we'll see what happens here with Bartoldi. And I'm going to put the 10 horse with Sia Cortez for Phil D'Amato. Phil D'Amato puts Efren Hernandez on the horse. So, I know Efren Hernandez rides a lot over at the Los Al night meet. So I'm wondering maybe Hernandez might work horses out for D'Amato. I'm not exactly sure here, but there must be some connection because he's putting him on, for the Little Red Feather Racing Stable. This horse is 6-1 in the program. And, again, this horse, similar pattern to some of these others, had been running in some special weights. Hadn't done all too much, even race, and then a couple just subpar races. 6-1, they're putting Hernandez on the horse. Horse has worked out okay. Again, just getting realistic, maybe fast enough to win this maiden 50. All right, so let's recap this pick 5 here at Santa Anita. So in the 6th race, we got a win bet on the 5 horse. That's Coral Gables Kaylin. That's the Doug O'Neill little sister to O'Mandy. See if maybe get that one home at 6-1. And then we got a pick 5 that starts in the 7th race. So in the pick 5, got the 6, 8, 12 with the 1, 2, 5, 8 with the 1, 3, and 7. That's in that 1.25 mile turf race with the single. That's the 11 horse. That's in the 10th race. The 11. That is Hope Road. And then cap it off with the 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, and 10. So that pick 5 today is a purchase price of $108. So that's where best I can narrow it down to today. So again, as you see fit, you can add or subtract. You can play pick 3s within this, play the pick 4, or maybe make win bets. Do what you feel will help you make money and make it a winning day at the track. So as always, I wish you the best of luck. Let's get some good trips, because good trips will result in some good luck for us. And let's see some good, safe racing. So as always, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Would appreciate that. And make comments. I'd like to hear from you. Let me know, good or bad, maybe what you think. And let's start up some discussions here on some of these videos. Thank you so much for watching.